What's up, everybody? Philip Link here with an episode of Start It Up, and today we have a Grasshopper 727K mounted to a Buffalo air turbine. This is your kind of standard zero-turn lawnmower, but they swapped out the front with a massive leaf blower running off the same system that your front deck would run on. So interesting vehicle, not something you see around often, but definitely a fun one to try out, and we will go and learn how to operate and start this thing up. Grasshopper has been around since 1969 and has a decent stake in the lawn care industry. The 727K has a top speed of 9 miles per hour on flat ground. Buffalo Turbine makes the turbines and custom paints them to match the brand of unit you're mounting them to. Now on board we got a Kohler powerhouse, a Command Pro 747, which is electronically fuel injected, creating a whopping 26.5 horsepower. Not too bad. We got the fuel gauge, just about out. After using this thing, it was pretty handy, but it lasted me a while. Yep, don't do your E85, just put your standard unleaded fuel. We got a nice little Kohler engine in there, tucked away, exhaust on the top, your two pivoting wheels on the rear, allowing the zero-turn action. If you are trying to jump start, your batteries terminals are here. Positive, negative, ground. Oil up top, all your dipsticks in here. So you fill, check your oil there. Always see that. And then up here, air filter. So make sure you're always keeping that clean, especially when you're dealing with so much dust and debris. You want to make sure that works. Recommended tire pressure, 8 psi. These are low pressure tires. Don't overinflate them. Your controller up here rotates this through a gear system. It's literally out here, and that is what controls your direction. Now it is a very massive blower. I mean, this is my hand. So what is that one? I got at least a 12-inch or more. Inside, I don't know if you can see what's in there. We got the turbine. The turbine is what is creating the force by all the impellers spinning in the same direction. You would not want to come in here when this thing is running. I have the key out and it is off, so be careful when you're messing with the turbine like this. Now mounting the Grasshopper is pretty simple. You just hop on like any other mower. Got the nice feet place for resting. Lots of guards to keep you out of the turbine. Now the chair is impressively comfortable. So you have a couple devices here to get it adjusted. So this is for your weight. It's actually a pump. So when you're trying to go up or down to set your height, you're doing a little pneumatic pump in there, and that is what is controlling your height. When you sit on it, you want that to be right about in the middle, so you're getting your premium height, and then you'll add pressure to get it to work, and you'll also be able to decrease pressure when you sit on it, like a rolly chair. Tucks away, slide in and out. And then on the rear here, you got lumbar. So this is controlling what your back is pressed up against. Really personalize your ride. This other thing, these spinning wheels, allow you to set the worm gear of where you want these to rest. So wherever you want your elbows to be riding along, that's what you set those to. It's the same on both sides. You got your left handle, of course, right handle, your controller for your nozzle. The up and down doesn't do anything. It's probably for a different attachment. And then your lift button for, say, when you want to lift up your front nose, you're going over a curb or something like that. So down here, we have the start, you have your throttle, and your PTO engage. You also got the LED lights up front, but it's not often you mow in the dark, so you shouldn't need that too much. Also got a parking brake symbol. When your power's on, your parking brake's on, you're good. And an oil pressure symbol. This all turns on right when you start it up anyways. We have your parking brake, so off to disengage. Also your instructions for how to operate. Let's start this baby up. So first, you gotta keep your handles to the out before starting it. Otherwise, it will not turn over. Just keep them out. Start it up. Yeah. The other thing is, if your parking brake is on and you pull these in, it'll kill the motor, as it doesn't want you to try and run your hydraulics against your parking brake. So shut that back off. Start it up. Good throttle here. Engage it. Increase the throttle a little bit. You don't want to start your turbine when you're at full throttle. You also don't want to start it at fully slow, as it really lags the engine. Yeah, so your nozzle adjusted like that, and then you got your lift button, which completely raises the blower off the ground. When you are using the lift button, do not stick your foot down in there, as it will easily crush it against this plate. This plate is resting, but you're still always safe. We're starting it up. Pull that. Now, some interesting things I noted while operating this machine. You are normally running a mower and all you're doing is put your deck down on the front, and that is what runs along. This, you now have a force that's acting against your steering. So if you put the nozzle to the left, it starts blowing you to the right. And when you try and drive straight, it turns you. It's extremely noticeable when you are blowing down a hill. You will sometimes have like a resistance of you're trying to blow down the hill and your rear wheel on the right is trying to push you forward, but it is also trying to push your back left backwards. So it's kind of an odd sensation to mess with that. Now, this blower is set full time with this 0 turn, but you do have the ability to swap it off. You have a ground bar here that goes down, you pull the pin on the other side, drops it in. You can detach this system if you wanted to put on your normal front deck and hook it in down there to your PTO. But this one is a full-time leaf blower, so it doesn't do anything else but clean drives and blow things like that. As it says, wear your eye protection, ear protection. This is definitely a high-risk machine if used improperly. I mean, you have a very, very quick spinning turbine in there, and you don't want to get anything in there finger-wise, or especially say a stick flew in there. As say a stick did fall, it would go through and could possibly hit the turbine, which would then shoot shrapnel back out at you on your chair. Definitely quite a unique machine, not something you get to use often or even need to use often. I mean, it's really handy in the fall when you got all the massive trees with massive leaves coming down. This helps so you don't have to bag everything. You can kind of just blow it into the wind. So that is how you set up and operate a Grasshopper mower with a Buffalo turbine mounted onto the front. It's not something that you will ever see much of or even see one around if you ever have seen one, but definitely something fun to try and operate. It's unique, kind of a zero turn where you're not worried about your mowing paths, but you're more so worried about, say, 10-15 feet on each side of you trying to get the leaves out of your way. It's gonna really be a neat tool to try and master, but other than that, kind of fun, something new, and I really enjoyed it. So let me know if you got any questions on it. I will do my best to get back with you. So I hope you have a great day. Peace.